Man United v Burnley tips as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer eyes record plus Premier League betting odds. Don't worry if you missed your dose of Premier League action while the FA Cup took center stage at the weekend. There's a full midweek program to enjoy. Manchester City are in action 24 hours before Liverpool and could move to within a point of the table-topping Merseysiders. Manchester United are at home to Burnley as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looks to write his name in the history books, while Chelsea fans will be hoping Gonzalo Higuain can open his goal-scoring account. Here's our game-by-game betting guide. Arsenal have got a bit of a break here, with the schedule being about as kind as it can be for the first game since their injury problems deepened with the loss of Laurent Koscielny and Sokratis against Manchester United. Hector, Bellerin and Rob Holding are already sidelined, but Cardiff are not a team well equipped to take advantage. The entire club is still reeling from the tragic disappearance of Emiliano Sala following his plane crash over the English Channel, and manager Neil Warnock admitted it has been the most difficult week of his career. On the pitch, they've managed just one goal in their last 6 games in all competitions. That was in the 1-0 win at Leicester, and are the lowest scorers on the road in the Premier League. They've managed just 6 in 11 games. Arsenal lost to United at the Emirates Stadium as their FA Cup hopes disappeared, but they haven't been beaten there in the league since Man City on the opening weekend and have won 9 of 12. They're no better than 1/4 but are 4-6, Sky Bet, -1 goal on the handicap and 17/10, BetVictor, minus a couple. Fulham are keeping Cardiff company in the relegation zone, and while their tally in the goals for column is not much better than the Welshmen, they have managed to score in 8 of their last 10 matches, a single goal each time, with Newcastle and West Ham keeping them out in the other 2. They'll be widely fancied to get on the scoresheet against Brighton, although recently Chris Hughton's side haven't been as ropey as they can be on their travels. In their last 3 away from home they've drawn at West Ham, beaten Bournemouth in the Cup and only lost 2-1 to born-again Manchester United. The draw looks a decent bet here, while 1-1 is worth a try at 11 halves, Bet365. Huddersfield make up the bottom 3, rooted to the foot of the table on the back of a miserable run of results that yielded 1 point from a possible 30. But they were still smiling last week as an amusing video announced the arrival of Jan Siewert as their new manager, not Martin from Wakefield. They'll be hoping for the new boss bounce, they'll be hoping for anything. And this is his first game, as defeat in round 3 by Man City meant there was no FA Cup tie at the weekend. Siewert has had more than a week to settle in, and he's in a much comfier position than the man in the opposite dugout on Tuesday night. Marco Silva has won just 1 away game, 5-1 against Burnley, since October, and lost 3 on the spin since then, at Brighton, Southampton and Millwall. At 16.5, BetVictor, Huddersfield should have a few backers. West Ham manager Manuel Pellegrini admitted after going out of the FA Cup that the speculation surrounding Marko Arnautovic hindered them against League One AFC Wimbledon. Arnautovic hasn't played the last couple of games, but now the new contract has been signed and he's not heading to China. For now, there's no better time to start making amends. The Austrian, expected to go straight back in, is 11.5, Betway, to score at any time in 13 halves, Bet365, for the opener. If he's on target at Molineux, he's unlikely to be the only one. The Hammers went down 4-2 at the weekend, while Wolves' last 2 games have finished 4-3 to them, against Leicester, and 2-2 with Shrewsbury. Both teams to score in the first half is 19.5. In the second half you can get 12.5 both teams score, and both teams to score in both halves is 14.1, Bet365. No manager in Premier League history has won their first 7 games, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should write his name into the history books with his flying Manchester United side. It's a 9th straight victory he's aiming at, as Reading and Arsenal have also been taken care of on cup duty, and although Burnley will line up stronger than they did against Man City in the Cup, they don't have enough to stop United in their tracks. Burnley did take 10 points from 4 games, against West Ham, Huddersfield, Fulham and Watford, before losing heavily to City, and while it's unlikely they'll be hammered like that again as they've drawn on their last 2 visits to Old Trafford, United look a home banker. They're 3/10, Sky Bet, and 5/6, Boyle Sports, Height FT. Burnley's recent run isn't bad, but on the flip side, in their last 4 games they've scored just 3 times, 1 a penalty and 1 own goal, so United to win without conceding is worth a nibble at 5/4. They're 2-1, BetVictor, to win -2 goals on the handicap. It makes no sense to have a go and lose 6-1 or 9-0, said Rafa Benitez as he prepared to set up in the way that's been criticized almost every time he's faced a top 6 side. In 8 games against them this season it's been about damage limitation, and that won't change when the champions visit. Since Roberto Firmino equalized against City on January 3, Pep Guardiola has watched his side score 29 goals, Saints winner in that game and another 28 over the following 6 outings, without letting any in at the other end. Newcastle will try to keep them out, or at least down, but it's a big ask. City are 1-5 but can be backed to win -1 and 2 on the handicap. Correct score backers might fancy 3-1, 12-1, and 4-1, 16-1, both Bet365. Gonzalo Higuain had a quiet introduction to life in England despite playing most of the 3-0 FA Cup win over Sheffield Wednesday. The Blues will expect more bang for their buck as they chase that top 4 spot, and a good start will be key to a strong finish for Higuain and his side. He's 11/4, Sky Bet, to score 9 or more Premier League goals. There's 15 games left, but in the shorter term he's 4-1, several firms, for the first goal on the South Coast, 6-5 at any time and 17/10 in the score win double. Chelsea should take this one. Bournemouth have lost all 7 games against the Big Six this season by an aggregate score of 22-4 and also lost to Chelsea in the League Cup. Beating West Ham 10 days ago was just a second win in 10 for the Cherries, and Chelsea are 31-20 Height FT. With Crystal Palace better away than at home and Southampton better right now than they've been for a while, this has the makings of a draw. Palace score more and win more when they're not at Selhurst Park, although they did beat Spurs there in the Cup at the weekend, while Saints are aiming for a 3rd win in a row. That might not seem like much, but it's almost 3 years since they last managed it. Any score draw at St Mary's is 18-5, BetVictor. Liverpool legend Ian Rush was the latest to back his old side to hold on to their lead and be crowned champions despite a lack of title-winning experience. Any pressure should be cranked up by the time they kick off on Wednesday, as second-placed Man City could and should be within a point. Rush might be onto something. The Reds had to grind it out at Brighton and Palace asked them questions at Anfield. But Man City fans won't expect many favors from a Leicester side coming off the back of 3 straight losses and who are 14-1 to win at Anfield. Bigger tests are round the corner for Liverpool. They're 1/4 to win but 2-1 to win with both teams scoring. The good news for Tottenham is fixture pile-ups are no longer a problem. The bad news? Injuries still are. Watford will look to take advantage of Spurs being without some of their big hitters and will also take hope from beating them at Vicarage Road earlier in the season. They are also on a roll after stretching their unbeaten run to 6 games with the cup win at Newcastle the day before Spurs went out of their second cup in a matter of days, to Palace after losing to Chelsea on penalties. Watford are 5-1 with a couple of firms and surely worth a punt. The draw is 31/10 with Betfair. Anytime scored treble, Higuain, Arnautovic, Pogba 14-1 but way big guns. Man United to win -2 goals on the handicap, Liverpool and Chelsea to win with both teams scoring in their matches 25-1. Several firms from oddsucker.com.